This is Bob Johnson, and I'd like to call to order the Mid-Continent Public Library Building Committee meeting for Wednesday, November the 6th. We are now in order. Take a roll call, please.
Trustee Johnson.
Here.
Trustee Gray. Here. Trustee Virgo. Trustee Lazio. Trustee Wyckoff.
Here.
Trustee Theus.
Yes.
And we have a quorum.
We have a
This
quorum.
is Joycelyn. I'm here too.
Oh, thank you, Joycelyn.
Next is the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda? So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that the agenda be approved. Roll call, please.
Trustee Johnson.
Aye.
Trustee Gray.
Aye.
Trustee Virgo.
Aye.
Wyckoff.
Aye.
Trustee Theus.
Yes.
That motion carries also.
The agenda has been approved. The minutes being printed.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's wait a moment. Before we approve the minutes. So the next the next item actually that's on our agenda then is a discussion of Colburn Road. And that relates to new construction on Colburn Road in the city of Lee Summit, which does go east and west in front of our library. It has created some. In a meeting last night, somebody commented about the illegal right turns they have to make, those left turns to get into the library. So the purpose of this meeting is to discuss Colburn Road and how we can better have access, egress and ingress to our parking lot for users of the library. Agenda program, presentation.
It's a conversation that'll
Okay,
be
good.
focused on these attachments that we have for you. So just a high level overview. Some time back, there were modifications made to Colburn Road that prevented the left turn in and left turn out, the Colburn Road exit. The library made commitments when we initially developed the property that we would open up access along the, is it Rice Road or Rice
Parkway.
Rice Parkway?
Rice.
When the developer in the property next to ours, decided to make improvements, and so here we are. Before you are plans that we've submitted to the city of Lee Summit and cost estimates for what it would take to do the work. Sarah has been leading our efforts here and working with the developer of the city of Lee Summit. She can talk a little bit about our plan that we have, the cost to do it, both for the construction work and the engineering services that Olson is providing. So Sarah, do you want to just give us a little overview of what happened and what steps we've taken since our last building committee meeting?
Sure. So back in February of 2020, City Council of Lee Summit passed an ordinance approving our development plan for the Colburn Road upgrades, updates. As part of that ordinance, we were committed to putting in a new entrance off this new roadway. I think it's Rice Parkway, whatever this little kind of goes around the development. We had a chance to do all those upgrades at the time, but we would have spent more money because the city was going to require us to put in the road, actually put in the whole road, which was quite a bit of dollars. The choice was made not to do that. And when and if the development occurred, that we would relocate our current Colburn Road access, put a new access on this new road. That has happened. The developer has come in, they have developed the new road, they're putting in a convenience store next to us, and then behind the branch and next to it, eventually it'll all be some sort of senior living facilities on different levels. In the meantime, the developer has done the public infrastructure upgrades as required by the city, which included filling in the entire middle of Colburn Road. So our left turn, you're down going east on Colburn, the left turn going into the branch was blocked. So at the moment, our patrons are either coming in from the east going west, or they're doing a U-turn in the middle of the road. Which is not ideal. And as part of that, I mean, we agreed that we would move our entrance at some point. It all kind of came to head, I think, the end of August. The developer was wanting us to grant them an easement on our property because they are putting a right turn only lane right in front of the branch to go onto the new road. And they can't do that without our easement or without us closing the Colburn access completely. So I have met with the City of Lee Summit a couple of times with our engineer Olson. And we have come up with a couple different options. The option before you that we submitted an application for is the best option that we have. It will not only put a new entrance back by the drive-through on the Colburn branch off the new road, but it will also put a brand new entrance, off the new road back by the drive-through. There will be an entrance back there, and there will be a brand new entrance off Colburn that's just a little bit further east. Our very first drawing of this was still in the middle of where we wouldn't have a left turn off Colburn. But this new plan, and I can show you here on some of these fancy drawings here, will include a designated left turn lane in the median and a full access driveway into our branch. So people can, if they choose to,
This is the.
that is,
The third to last page on this oversized printout here.
And this is the current.
that is. I know. If you can make these as big as you want, but it's hard to see.
I just wanna make sure I'm looking at the right one, see, it's in the current.
I believe, yes, that is,
Entrances to the west and closer to right.
yes, and really this one's showing the demolition more than anything. But yes, our current entrance,
Got you, so that's for the current.
which there was this sheet, C13 shows the current entrance right in the middle of our kind of parking lot. And then this new page, C2.0, shows the new roadway with the new entrance back by the drive-through, and then the new entrance with the designated left turn off of Colburn here on this piece of property. Now, this piece of property, the City of Lee Summit actually owns it. And this actually was their idea to say, hey, we'll give you this piece of property to give you a full access.
On both of these, it's showing a curb cut still in front of the existing entrance, is that correct?
Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, I think that's
There's
just,
median there, right?
there is a full median there. And Yeah.
Excuse me, this is Joycelyn. That documentation I cannot find on board docs, so it's a little hard for me to follow. If someone could send that to me or upload it, that would be helpful.
Joycelyn,
Building drawings are not on board.
basically, the comment we were just talking about, the road on the east side of the property that the city owns, that's where that road is going to be constructed. If you can kind of place where that might be, I think it's, what's on the south side? Is that the church or the school?
I believe that's the school. That's the old Paradise Park. Turned into the early London.
Okay.
Yes, and the city has assured me that with their agreement with the school district, that they will never put a median in front of that
Good.
entrance. So it kind of works best for us.
Yeah, so again, Joycelyn, because I'm doing this too, so that it's to the east, we'll have access to property on the east side of our property. That's across the street then from the opening into Paradise Park now is a part of the school system. And I've forgotten now what they house there, but I'm just giving you that as a placement as to where roughly it is geographic.
I'm texting her a couple photos, just. so-
Joycelyn, I just sent
Let me
you
go
the
faster.
attachments.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. I apologize for not being there in person. I couldn't today, but I'm a very visual person, so thank you.
So I'm with you on that, but no problem. I understand not being here. And then on that same drawing, I'm at the northwest side of our property by the drive-through. And I didn't realize I was gonna ask that too. I know there's some. How complicated is it? We have not choice. How complicated is it going to be to have access by drive from back there?
We think that there's,
We're gonna lose 3 parking spots.
Okay,
We already are over the minimum parking spot requirement for the city. We're gonna lose about 3 widening that entrance. That will also be where the dumpsters are, so it'll be a little bit easier for the dump trucks to kind of get in that entrance and weave around our parking lot like they currently do. And it's really better for the drive-through, the drop-off.
okay.
And also that, I mean, it's a full access, so people prefer to go to the light versus taking their chances, taking a left out of the new entrance off Holborn. They also can do that, so there's just so what we're doing really, we're maintaining the full access off Holborn, and then we're also gonna get a light access, which I think is good both ways. It just, you know.
Now, is there an easement requirement on the northwest corner, and if so, is that coming? Developers providing?
So, yeah, that street is going to, in the things, that street will continue on back to a nursing home facility.
Oh, it's,
So they are continuing on that road, just that little bit for us, so we can get our access onto it. So there's no easement required there, but there will be an access easement required down for this Colburn, which I'm working with the city on that.
one that the city owns.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, that'll probably be part of our whole plan.
So does the developer have to take out part of the concrete and the curbing then for the bulb of that?
Yeah,
Yes. And he's doing that.
you know, that's one thing that I'm not 100% sure on, whether we're gonna have to demo that ourselves or if the developer's going to go ahead and do that for us. How we left the meeting, the last meeting we had with the developer, it seemed like they were like, oh yeah, we'll extend it for you. But I haven't got the bill for that yet, so.
And was the developer actually there or? what?
Yes, so we had the developer and the engineer and the owner of the land. Well, I should say the owner of the whole,
The developer and all that probably.
yes.
This is Marcy. So front part of that parcel is a convenience store, is that what you said? And then
On the left side over here will be a convenience store.
and then, so you mentioned the senior housing eventually that.
Yep. It's gonna be all back here
Okay.
and then even they're gonna, and this will be medical offices on this side. So there'll be commercial up front, residential all back.
So you mentioned city police summit has this land right here that they're, so how much of that parcel? is
So,
control?
The incentive the city of Lee Summit gave, I think it's chapter 100, sales, so they have to, they transferred all the land to the city of Lee Summit, you know, by name, so they can get the sales tax exemption on those properties. But I don't know what the agreement is between the city and the developer regarding that ownership, but the city made it seem like that's our land and we'll give you the access.
And I just asked because they're designing a finished road here, which at some point you would hope would have internal access to whatever that future development is to the east.
So for this particular here,
Yeah.
they've told me, no, that will be strictly us.
That's just
There's gonna be, there will be like a sidewalk, some sort connecting, but they are carving out a little portion just for our access,
Okay,
which,
I'm just thinking, yeah, I mean, works for now.
yeah, for now it works,
Down the
right?
road, they're looking at another curb cut basically to the east.
And if there-
access, whatever.
That's what I kind of had the same idea as well. But I had not seen the agreement for the easement, the access.
We just see
easement
so
for us.
many developments done where you don't have process.
Yeah,
property
I asked about that
access.
too, and as far as if the medical building is going here, will we connect? And I think that was, they kind of looked at me like, we haven't thought about that ahead.
Well, that's how we build everything,
Right.
it's a piece at a time.
But I think at this point, this is more than a few years away. I think they're gonna start building the C-store and then start building the nursing facility back here first, and then they'll kind of move around.
Okay, well, and hopefully the development of the senior complex at the back is thinking far enough ahead to make our facility an amenity, if you will, adjacent to their property with property access.
Yeah, which I'm hoping,
Nice
and we can-
crosswalks would be nice, a sidewalk and.
right, sidewalks and all of that. And so I think that would definitely be part of their conversation with us in a few years.
And lastly, you said they're adding a signal
Yeah, there will be a signal down here.
And that's the entrance to the outer road on the opposite side, is that right?
Ooh, I think that's a church. I don't think I think the outer road's further down.
I was gonna say.
Because the whole point is they
I'm
want to,
excited about that, because that's a horrible.
It's not a great-
You don't
it's
have
not
sight
great.
distance to your west, if you're making a left turn out of that outer road, so maybe that signalizing will help a little bit.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's kind of a mess, and so they're doing their best to clean it up. In the meantime, we lost our access, so we're trying to get that back.
Yes.
The identified as public roadway, I think is that Rice or Harold?
It's listed on one of these drawings as Northeast Rice
Okay.
Road, but is
Right.
Harold the one in the back?
One of them has, and Harold Rice was the original owner, that's what.
Oh, really?
That's all that is.
That makes sense.
Anyway, whatever that is, that public roadway that we have on our drawings here, that does cross Colburn into, I think, the church parking lot.
Yeah, I'm looking at the map right here. It's not the outer Rice Road. Because what they've officially done is they've closed off Rice Road on this side.
They have?
Yes, it's emergency vehicles only.
Really?
So the traffic is supposed to come around to this light.
Okay, because I think in the last, over the weekend, I thought.
Oh, I guarantee you people are driving on it, but.
They are, yeah.
But-
Just 2 days, I did about a week ago.
Yeah, but they said, according to the city, they had a lip, a 3-inch.
They do, yes, they
3-inch
do.
lip that's supposed to be painted. I don't know what color, but it's supposed to be emergency access only for that fire station.
I drove over the other, no, you're right,
But people are gonna do what
we
they
do,
wanna do. I do that.
public
Same.
does.
Yeah.
So, okay, but
Well-
that's where that's located in terms of it crosses into the church parking lot.
Yeah, I was just say she's right, that's the church entrance, and we're looking at the map on.
Yeah.
Rice.
Which is great, I think, for, a lot of accidents happen on Sundays at church, so. The light will help.
Anyway, obviously, we have had complaints from at least in the community that use our library, so it's just a real reason to have this meeting today and get this great information, so I don't know.
I'd like to thank our patrons for voicing their concerns with the city council. It really got their attention, and so it's only benefited us.
Oh, yeah, I had one lady talk to me, I said, just call a council member. And let them know what their vote did, in a nice polite way.
Yes.
Sir, can you go over this Olson agreement? I mean, just high level, like.
Quickly, yeah, so we also, Olson, we've been working with them, we worked on with them on at least the Colburn branch upgrades. So they have been kind enough to come to these meetings, do Zoom calls, create these plans, file this application free of charge. In the sense that they would give us the scope of services and a proposal at some point. And so we have that now. And they will see this project through the final plans being approved and construction being done. And our main contact is Terry. His last name right now. Yeah, Terry Parsons. I want to say Terry Olson, but Terry Parsons been working with us closely and he's been great, very responsive. And so in front of us, we have the scope of services totaling out to $13,200. And that's for all the things we've done so far, plus moving forward, responding to any comments, changes the city may have for our development plan that we've submitted.
And there's another single page document that's cost estimates for the construction work. So there, the estimate is 195.7 with a design contingency of 10%. That includes a design contingency of 10%. So, roughly you're looking at over $215,000 or thereabouts to get the work done. Our goal would be to have the work done by the year end. I don't know if that's possible. A lot of this depends on weather and whether or not we can get the design approved. I believe, Sarah, correct me if I'm wrong, they've been submitted and public comment is due by
Well, city
Number
comments,
14.
due by next Thursday is city is supposed to have their first round of comments back to Terry and I. I'm hoping it's nothing major since we've had so many meetings with the city and talked through this in person. So I'm at that point, it gets, I mean, they're doing it administratively, which is nice. It's not going in front of the city council, so it should be done quickly. More quickly. And then as soon as we can work with a contractor to start making these changes, the developer, I would tell you, the developer is very eager to get their side done so they can start getting the city is holding the building permit up on the C-store until we are satisfied with our entry. Again, thanks to the patrons of the library for voicing their concerns. So we are the priority number one, I believe, for the city to get our access completed and done so the developer can move on with his project. So we're hoping, they said something about 3 weeks construction time, which, is always best case scenario, but as it's November 6th. And we're waiting for final approval, so. Depending on the weather, maybe we'll have it done before the end of the year, but I've never made promises that I can't keep, that I'm not in control of.
On the financing, have we located a source of revenue?
Jeremy?
I believe we're using the remaining contingency funds from the capital project plan.
Do we control that?
No, I'm not. I'm not sure about that at all. Because it's possible. It's possible. Yeah, we need to see what comes out, because you have that work at Green Hills, which is the final bill hasn't come. So if there is remaining contingency funds with our capital project, we would use those funds. If not, then we need to pull from capital or something like that. It's manageable either way.
I just want to re-say that, this isn't something that, we wanted to do, kind of have to do it. We agreed to it back in 2020. So that's kind of why we're here. It's not something that was pushed upon us, something we agreed upon.
Well, on the positive side of it, we gain an additional ingress egress
Yes.
point
You get, on a light, which I think is helpful.
on a signal, and that should help with traffic flow in and out, for peak events and things like that, and then future planning, access to development, residential development behind is a bonus.
And I'll tell you, the first round of drawings were not great. We only had the access in the back and, having your front access to one of your very pristine libraries by the dumpster isn't really like how you want to see it. So having this access point off Colburn, that's, is going to be kind of dramatic and it will look very nice. And so I think that's kind of how we've gotten it. So it's progressed behind the scenes, something that, didn't seem so great to something that's much better than what it was.
Agreed. There is also one other attachment that you have, right, Inspire Energy.
So, yeah, amongst all of this nonsense, Fire reaches out and says, here's a temporary construction easement request. We would need to do some work next summer to upgrade their system. They do want to give us $2,000. That's exciting. But it's really just, they have free reign over the right of way, but what they're asking for is to use a piece of our property next to the right of way, probably to store equipment, store new piping, things they pull out. Part of the agreement, they will put it back to the way it was. If they cause any damage, they'll fix it. And we'll be all over that. It's just a temporary easement that we will be granting. And like I said, the work they're wanting to do next summer. So our first round of drawings from the new Colburn access, this would have gone right through the middle of the brand new entrance. With this newer entrance on the very east side, they'll be in the grass. So that's even better. So that I just we need to move forward with Spire and let them kind of do their thing. They've been very patient, waiting. I just wanted to get it in front of you all for any comments.
So on the new east side entrance.
So it'll be, yeah, I think there is a map on the back of this. You can,
Well, I just see the address, but that doesn't tell me.
yeah,
So is it on our east side?
it's on the east, the front east side.
Yeah.
Signage.
Like there's temporary signage is supposed to be coming from the developer. They ordered some temporary, they ordered some permanent. You know, what I heard a couple weeks ago is that sign companies are about 6 months out.
So in terms of directional signage at the entrance, well, two questions. One would be, I can't tell on here where our signage is. Do we have monument sign at the street or anything like that? Does that need to be relocated if we do? My second question would be directional signage at the entrance point, you know, enter here, things, that kind of stuff.
So right now,
Putting that.
yeah, right now, we don't have any monument signage at the entrance,
Okay, we're just.
but we
The
are.
building itself has the big sign. So that's- I couldn't remember if we had monument or not.
City of Lee Summit has said that by right, we can put a sign, an entrance sign, some sort of monument signage at the entrance. I think that's something if we want to put there, I think we need to talk about at a later time.
Sure.
That's
Yeah.
those possible pricey
I
things
was
to put
wondering
in.
suddenly whether we have monument we needed to move or anything. I couldn't recall.
I'm looking at the Google Street View. I don't see any monument right now. But that could be something if we want to later. It could be as small or as large and glorious as you want.
Enter here works.
Or like
Enter, exit.
an arrow, yes.
Yeah.
And well, of course, it'll be painted and all of that to show what lanes can go where.
And the new entrance on the east, that's unrestricted in terms of east-west movement.
Mhm.
so
It'll be full
blacked out,
access.
Full, yeah,
Yep.
right in, right out, but
Just like our old entrance, so we'll have it painted appropriately to show 3 lanes wide.
Pretty much concludes our briefing. Unless you have any additional questions.
Oh, I'm sorry, please.
Yes, question to Sarah,
Yes, sir.
just a quick question. If I understand correctly, when the decision was made to proceed as the branch now exists, at that time, we were put on notice that if we were to proceed in the almost inevitable likelihood that there would be elimination of access to what was established, we'd have to incur additional costs to demolish what we built and then put in something that we were aware of could happen. And I would submit very likely happen. So now we're incurring another $200,000. Is that basically it?
Correct.
Okay. In looking over the records, do you know if any of this, any information all with respect to that option was presented to the board, to the building committee, to any of us? Because I certainly don't remember that at all.
If it was, it was people that don't work here anymore, that I don't know, I can't
I was just
remember.
wondering, within any documents you may have
I haven't
reviewed.
found anything, no,
Okay,
but I haven't looked either,
I
so
don't recall anything at all along these lines.
I'm happy to kind of take a look and see if I can see anything.
No, I'm not aware of anything, but in the discussions these last few months, I believe there may have been discussions, again, like Sarah said, between them and people who work here anymore. So we had a capital projects manager.
You know, I'm sorry, but I was talking about not the people who worked here, but either the building committee or the board.
No,
Okay.
say no to that, no.
Let us double check just to make.
Yeah, we'll look through
I mean, it could have been a discussion, you know, when we were talking about Coleman Road or something, but a clear, a clear agenda item about it. I don't recall any of that, but we can certainly go back and take a look.
That's okay.
Okay.
And I think the developer / property owner attempted to call someone here a few months ago.
No, I was talking about when.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that person's no longer here, so there was. Yeah, I know what you're talking about originally. I was told, it doesn't matter, with 2019, 2020, all this occurred with the city.
And of course, we can't estimate what the cost would have been. I mean, the city was going to make us put in the entire road with sidewalks. And do the median. So all of that work would have been more than $200,000. probably. So,
Yeah.
no, here we are now, but
That would have been pretty typical a lot of times when you do new development,
Yes.
the property owner's building is required to at least pay for at least half of the cost of the road, but then it has to go in all at one time.
and honestly, the city of Lee Summit probably gave us a break as the library saying, well, we're not gonna require it of you. But if it happens, which they kind of knew was already in the works, then you're gonna have to upgrade your entrances. So,
Which we're doing right now, right?
yeah, this is what this whole thing is, yep.
And they're giving the land necessary to do these.
Correct, yes,
All in all, it could have been much worse.
yes.
This is Michelle. Do we need to vote on this? I mean, this seems, I'm not trying to be rude, but this seems pretty simple to me.
Yeah, thank you for doing it, because that's my next question. Do we take an action here, or do we just have an understanding?
We have an understanding. I think when we get the actual hard costs for doing the work, then we would come back and request approval because it's technically unbudgeted. But to Jeremy's point, if it could be covered in contingency, then we would notify you of that. If additional costs are incurred, we would ask for your approval.
Yeah. Thank you, Michelle,
This
for
is-
bringing that up. I think
Great.
that. yeah,
Thanks.
That's the way to prove it. All right, so,
This is Joycelyn.
yes.
I think, I think the current situation is unsupportable. We get about 100 visitors an hour when it's open, and to have no ease of access to the front of the building is unacceptable. So I think that this situation, it's nice to have a good amenity, but if you can't get to it, that's problematic. So I think it needs to be corrected. And I would support the plan as one of the best solutions to this, because that whole intersection has changed quite rapidly, and that's a very busy intersection. So to be doing a U-turn, illegal, right in front of a middle school, elementary school, a church, two churches actually are in that area, a convenience store across the street and one across. It's just, we need that access. And around the back, it's not working right now because there's not real ease to get through the back as it is right now. So I think that we need to get this corrected as quickly as possible. That's all.
So I think I read the committee comments as being supportive of the concept that's been presented to us involving both property owner, city, and us, the library owner of properties. We understand that, so certainly our staff should continue forward with bringing this to a completion. And then, yes, at some point, when the dollar amounts become actually known, that the other board would have to take an action to approve the source of the expenditure, of the revenue expenditure. Otherwise, I think we're probably through with that today. I'd like to go back a moment. The minutes been distributed. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the September 26th, 2024 meeting?
So moved.
It's been moved and seconded that the minutes of the Thursday, September 26th meeting be approved. Call the roll, please.
Trustee Whitehall,
Hi.
trustee Felix,
Yes.
trustee Virgo,
Yes.
trustee Johnson,
Aye.
trustee Gray.
Uh,
Good motion carried.
Motion carries. Now we're at other business. Any other business? Not, then I would call for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that this meeting adjourned. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.